market supply. Okay, that is the aggregate
Yeah.
supply. Okay.
So in market supply, will DMart come in market supply or individual supply?
DMart as a entire institute. It is taking the total. It is an industry. DMart is actually an industry. So it is taking the. If you study only DMart, then it becomes an individual firm. So demand for that. Okay. But if you are taking the all the consumers in all the cities that DMart has, so it
Yeah.
is taking a combined demand. It's taking a combined demand and then supplying. But every place where DMart is, what they do is, or all these chain of shops that they have, they take the demand for that particular city and supply things accordingly. If you have
Okay.
paid attention, if you go around in the cities, you will see that the product varies in every city, right? This
Yes, ma'am.
depends on the demand of the products in those cities. Okay.
Okay.
So the same chain, the same retailer chain has different products in different cities depending on the demand. So there they are catering for combined demand of that particular city. But when you take in as a whole, when they take it as a whole, then it is a combined demand. So it's both the things. Okay. Micro and macro both go together. It can't be you are seeing only one thing. You have to see single also, and then its effect on the entire thing also. Okay.
Understood. Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
Okay, so we have done all this. We were on the schedule. Okay, this we did. Individual supply, this we were doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we were. Yes,
You
yes.
know, so this I have given you. This is there in your book. The supply schedule is given to you of one product, X product. Okay, and with the increase in price, the quantity supplied also increases. I have told you, Abhi, just now I explained to you that there is a positive relationship between
Supply
come in
and
yeah, there is a positive relationship between supply and price. Okay, because as demand increases for a particular product, as price increases, because the demand as the price increase, there is more profit margin in that. Because there is more profit margin in that, the producers start supplying more, whether it is increase in manufacturing or increase they bring in the already kept stock for supply, the supply increases. Okay, so now this is a schedule given for price at the price, these prices 2 3 4 5 6. This quantity supplied is given 20 40. See, it's increasing with every. Okay, so when you plot these, let's have a slideshow. Let's have a slideshow. Okay. So now you can see this. Children, please mute yourself. There's a lot of disturbance. Okay, so you can see these points. See, at the price of 2, right? You can see this. The quantity supplied is 20. So now again we take price on the y-axis and quantity supplied on the x-axis. I have told you before so many times, always quantity supplied has to be on the x-axis. Okay, so there is similarity in the curves. In not here, but in next classes, you are going to combine all these curves. Okay, so when combination, when you have to combine, they should have the same kind of measurement. Okay, so quantity supplied always on the x-axis. Here you take the price on y. See, at 1, at 2, here is 2. Your quantity supplied is 20. So your first point is A point. Okay. Next point is at 3. Your quantity supplied is 40. So B is your next point. Third is 4. At 4 it is 60. C is your next point. So A, B, C, D, E are your consecutive points. And when you join it, you get the curve, the supply curve SS. Okay. Understood how to plot the supply curve? Right? And don't worry about these. This is only a hypothetical values that are given to you. Okay, you
okay,
don't have
ma'am.
to worry. So just when you are explaining the supply schedule, you're going to explain it with the help of an example. Give an example like this and make this graph like this. Okay, so in
Ma'am,
this figure, yes.
So when we make the graph and we make the example, so we take it to our choice, right? They will not give
Yes.
anything. We make it on our
Yes,
everything.
if they have not
Then the
given,
figure.
if they have not given, you have just to explain. You are asked a question, explain the supply schedule or individual supply schedule, whatever. You have to take your own example. This example is good enough, but please remember, when you are doing explanation for demand, if mentioned, unless mentioned, it is always for a normal good. So law of demand and law of supply should be considered. Okay, unless it
Ma'am,
is, yes.
ma'am, I understood the graph, but I'm not understanding the 5 to 81
5 to
that you
80.
have plotted.
Where 5 to 80?
Yes,
Acha, this they have written
ma'am.
Acha, this I only wrote wrong. This is 80 here. Okay, at 5 it is 80. It can't
Acha,
be
okay.
0. It can't be 0, right? It is
Yes,
80.
ma'am.
If it is there in the book, na, it's 80. It's wrongly written by me only. Okay, so at 5 it is 80, right? Supply is increasing, so suddenly at 5 it can't be 0. Okay, so in this figure, price I have told you is on the y-axis and supply is on the x-axis. 5 points A, B, C, D, E are the corresponding price and quantity combinations. Okay. By joining these 5 points, we get the individual supply curve. Because this was the individual supply schedule, we get the individual supply curve. Okay. And this curve, it shows a direct relationship between price and quantity supplied. It slopes upwards from left to right. The demand curve slopes downward from left to right. The supply curve slopes upwards from left to right. Okay, clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the same way we had the market demand, which was a sum of all the individual demands in the market. The same way we have the market supply also. The supply schedule, do not do this, children. The supply
What
schedule
happened?
is a combination, is a sum total of all the quantity individually supplied by the producers in the market, right? So this is the supply schedule given here, market supply schedule for one commodity X by firm A, B and A and B. Okay, so different quantities as at price of 2, A is supplying 10 but B is supplying 20. Okay, so one schedule is given for A and one schedule is given for B. So your market supply would be summation A and B, that is A plus B. So market supply is given here. Here the first one is 30, then when you add it is 50, then it is 70, 90 and 110. Okay, so this column, the last one is your market supply schedule. Okay, and when you plot, see I have plotted all three together. It's clear, visible here,
Yes, ma'am.
right? So the
Yes,
first
ma'am.
supply schedule is this one, the second one is this, and combination, that the, yes, who wants to ask a question?
Ma'am.
Yes, ask. One more child, Arya. And yes, Arya, what is it?
Ma'am, I wanted to ask, like in demand, when we were making, we used to make the full graph and the other three also, like when A plus
Yes,
B.
you can do that here also. It's not a problem here. Like you can do that. You can combine this graph.
Oh,
It's easier to understand like this, right? That is
so
why
can,
3 graphs are given. You can make it in one graph also.
so can we do that for demand also, because it's
Yes,
little
yes, yes. You can do it for demand also.
okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
there is no
Thank you.
problem. You
Yes,
can
yes.
make individual or you can combine it, make it. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am, Krishna is waiting.
Krishna is waiting, but I can't see him. Where is he? Please see.
Ma'am, sometimes it happens
Just wait.
technical.
Yeah,
It's
Krishna.
technical
Wait.
problem.
Okay. I've seen him. Joined, Krishna?
Sorry, ma'am.
Why late? From tomorrow, I'm not admitting you.
Ma'am, I got food at 11:20.
You got food at 11:20. Why you're not staying at home?
No, ma'am, I'm in Thane.
Achha, you're in Thane. So you're staying with somebody, no?
Yes, ma'am, at my cousin's house. But I got food at 11:20. It wasn't prepared.
Okay. Chalo, okay. But please try to be on time, okay? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Chalo. That's okay. Chalo, let's say. So we have made the two individual demand schedules and we have combined. Now what do you see in this third demand schedule? Can you see something different here? Can you see something different here, children?
Yes.
What is different in the third demand schedule? In the third demand curve, can you see a difference?
Ma'am, I think it's like first it was very steep and now it is a bit
It's a little flatter. Yes, it's a
yeah.
little flatter. When you compare it with to the, just mute yourself. There is a lot of difference, children. That lot of disturbance. Yes. So when you combine the both the supply curves of A and B, you get a flatter demand curve. Yes. This is because the proportionate change that you have for individual demands, individual supplies, right? It is in market supply, that proportionate change is less. The individual, see, if you see here the table, for at the price of 2, the quantity supplied by A is only 10. Quantity supplied by B is 20. But when you take it combined, this quantity supplied becomes 30. Yes? Okay. So the proportionate change is more here rather than when you see for individuals. The next one also for 3 at the price of 3, 20 for A, 30 for B. But it becomes, when you combine it, becomes 50. Yes, the proportionate change has increased. That is why the market supply curve becomes a more flatter curve than the individual supply curves. Is this clear to all?
Ma'am,
Yes.
like why this proportional decreasing?
Where the proportion is decreasing?
Like
Where is the proportion
from this
decreasing?
graph, sorry, increasing like
Just I told you, na, why the supply increases, why is there a positive relationship between price and supply? Because when your price increases, more profit is generated for the sellers. Yes or no?
oh, now I understood. So
Understood?
aggregate it is
Yes,
understood. Yeah.
right. So aggregate also, because they have more expectations of profit, they will increase the supply, right? Whether they increase it from this already stock they have, or they have changes and the short supply is increased, that is depending on their circumstances. Okay, but with increase in price, supply will always increase for normal goods. Whenever we talk about this, unless it is mentioned, it is always for normal goods. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, this one is written. Now we come to the supply, law of supply. Okay, same way we have the law of demand, we have the supply law also. Okay, so what was the law of demand? Who can tell me? Who can tell me what was this law of demand? Nobody can tell me. Children, can you see this?
No, ma'am, the screen is not there.
Screen sharing not happening. Wait,
Ma'am, network glitch.
just wait a second. I'll again do it. Yeah, now can you see?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now tell me, what was the statement? What was the law of demand? Who can tell me? Avni, law of demand.
I guess when there is increase in price or there is decrease in demand, and when there is decrease in price, there is increase in demand.
Yes, there is no guess in that. That is the law of demand. The law of demand states that there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded of a commodity. Okay, that is the law of demand. The law of supply states that other things being equal, if there is a change in price, there will be a direct proportionate change in supply also. That means there is a direct relationship between price of a commodity and its supply. If the price increases, the supply increases. If the price decreases, the supply also decreases. Okay, in law of demand it was the inverse relationship. In law of supply it is a direct relationship. Okay, that's so the demand curve, it sloped downwards from left to right. It was a downward sloping curve. The supply curve is a upward sloping curve from left to right. Okay, right? So if we write it in terms of function, we can write that supply is a function of price. Can you see this? Yes, supply is a, Arya, mute yourself. The voice is echoing. There is a direct relationship. Supply is a function of price, which where S is the supply of a commodity and P is the price of that commodity. Okay. Now, the way we had assumptions in the law of demand, we have the same assumptions in the law of supply also. That means when I started the law, the statement of the law, what had I written? Other things being equal. Okay. Because in this, we study the relationship between price and quantity supplied. So, rest of the things are kept constant. So, there is the same as we study in supply also. There is no change in price of related goods, no change in state of technology. What happened, Arya? Arya, what happened? What was the joke? There is no change in technology. There is no change in the goals of the firms. We learned all these are determinants of what? Supply. We had learned this in the last class, determinants of supply. So all these things don't change. Okay. There is no change in prices of factors of production. Because if your factors of production price, that is your cost of production, increases, it will decrease the profit margin for the producer. So he will, what will he do? He will try to increase the price to maintain the same profit margin or make more profit. So these changes should not be there when we are studying the relationship between price and supply. That is why we keep all these things as constant, and there is no expectation of change in price in near future. Because if he starts expecting that the prices in the near future will increase, he will keep that supply, he will increase in stock, he will decrease the supply, right? And when the prices increase, he will increase his supply. So to rule out all these change and just to study the relationship between price and supply, we assume that all these things are constant. Okay, there is no change in all these things, right? So I have told you the statement. Now we have the explanation. It is the same that we have drawn right now. We have been given a schedule, right? It's just a hypothetical schedule, prices per unit and the quantity demanded corresponding to it. We take each group and we plot it on the curve, on the graph. Okay, so the law of supply, we get at 10 as price 10, we have 100, at 20 we have 200, at 30 we have 300, and so on. So your supply is a upward sloping curve from left to right. That means as the price is increasing, your supply also increases. Supply curve is clear to all? Yes? Is there a doubt? No?
Yes.
Good. Should we go ahead?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, I didn't understand the flat curve you said, the A plus B curve.
That said, I said that the market supply curve is flatter than the individual supply curve. Why does this happen? Did you see the difference between the curves? The individual was more
Yes,
steep,
ma'am.
yes, and the market supply was a little flatter. Why does this happen?
Yes.
Because if you see the individual schedules, right, the proportionate change that is happening in the individual schedules, like for 2 price, he was the first seller was selling only 10, right? So at the price of 3, he is selling 20. So there is a difference of 10 only, 10 units in his sale. Okay. For the second seller, when the price increased from 2 to 3, he increased also from 20 to 30. So there is a difference of 10 only, right? But when you see to the supply curve,
Ma'am, I understood.
understood? There is a
Yes,
more
ma'am.
proportionate change when it is combined together, right? That is why
Yes,
you get
ma'am.
a flatter curve for supply. Okay? Clear to all of you? This we
Yes,
did in the demand curve also. Yes? Okay, now why does the law of supply exist? What are the reasons for the existence of this law? First reason I have already told you, it is the level of profit. Because with the increase in price, the seller expects that his prices will soar up. He increases the supply of his stock. Okay? So this is the first, because of the levels of profit. When the price decreases, because his profit decreases, his controls the supply, he reduces the supply of his product. Okay. Second is entry of new firms. Why does the supply increase? Because when you see that in the market for a product, the demand has increased. Okay, the demand has increased. So it, and there is more profit in the selling price also increased. So there is more profit. So this more profit attracts new sellers in the market. Okay, this profit. So there are when there are new sellers, new suppliers in the market, the supply of that product increases. Okay, clear the second point? Yes. Third is change in stock. I told you there is a difference between the sale, what they put for sale, and what is the stock they have. There is a difference. Yes. So as the price increases, they bring in more supply from the stock because they are now getting more profit. So depending on that, their stock they start to use now. So these are the three reasons for why this law of supply exists. Okay, and always remember in all of this, it is all other things are taken as constant. It is only a relationship between price and supply. Okay. Okay. Next is, what are the exceptions? Like we had exceptions in the law of demand also. Yes, we had exceptions for given goods. Yes or no? It was an
Yes, ma'am.
exception. Yes. So we have exceptions in law of supply also. The first exception is agricultural good. Now in agricultural good, yes, Arya, want to ask
Ma'am,
something?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Like first demand, the even if the prices were increasing, people were buying it. So like it became the normal law, like, and like it happens in supply. The price increase and the supply increase, and demand made was kind of an exception for given goods. So what normally happens in demands happens in supply ka exception.
No. No. See,
Okay.
this is you are learning individual curves. Okay, demand, when you are learning for normal goods, demand is inverse proportion. Price increases, the demand for that quantity will go down. But will it happen that today the price has increased, today itself the demand goes down?
No.
It takes some time, no? Right? It takes some time. When we are studying economy as a whole, even if it is a small industry or a small firm, or say sale of a small shop also, we will combine these two together and then study, right? So there will be some decline in quantity demanded, and because the price has increased, there will be some increase in price. So there will be a point wherein both will meet. Okay,
Okay.
that is why I said we keep the axis same, because afterwards when we see it in as an economy, we see both the curves together. So we have to combine it, right? And we have to find the points where both of these meet. Okay, so little decline in demand and little increase in price, we'll find a new meeting point. Okay,
Okay.
right? Okay, so
Yes,
now
ma'am.
we were doing exceptions. Exceptions, the first exception in the law of supply is agriculture good. What is there with agricultural goods? That is not what we cultivate, right? These depend more on natural factors, that is sunshine and rainfall and all these things, rather than on price. Is it yes or no? Yes. The soil and natural calamities, agricultural production is more dependent on that than on price, right? What the produce is, they have to take it out to the market, whatever the price. Okay, otherwise there is no storage facility for them, they cannot store it for long. The same is with perishable goods, like for example bread has a limit of 3 days. In 3 days you have to consume. So in 3 days if that bread is not sold, it is a loss for the seller. Yes or no? So perishable goods also do not follow this law, because they have to sell it no matter what, whether the price is increasing or decreasing. Have you been to vegetable market with your parents? All of you have been to vegetable markets, right? When it is at
Yes,
the
ma'am.
peak, when the vegetable market is at the peak, when the sellers expect that more people will come to buy, at that time the prices are also at the peak. Yes, but as the day goes down, as it is evening and then it turns to night, What is it? They want to finish off their goods and go home because it is a perishable good. Okay.
So they lower the prices.
Yes, so they lower the prices and sell it off. So agricultural goods and perishable goods, these do not follow the law of supply. That now the demand has increased. Evening mein lot of people go to buy vegetables. Why do they go in the evening? Because they know now they have to sell it off and go. The prices will be lower at this time. Okay. So this is a exception to the law of supply. The third thing is good for auctions. The auction ke liye what things we keep? Why it cannot be changed? The prices are not dependent because their supply is fixed. What do you think? Things you are giving now. If you are putting up your bed for auction, you have only one bed. Whether the price increases or whether the price decreases, you have only one bed for option. Can you increase the sale of it, increase the product, or can you decrease it? You cannot say
No,
nahi, now the prices have declined, I will give you half a bed only. You cannot do that. So their supply is fixed. Yes, auctions when paintings are put up for auctions, right? Their supply is fixed. You cannot change it at your will, and in fact you cannot change it at all. So these are also not dependent on prices. Okay, the supply is not dependent on prices. Is it clear to you? The exceptions are clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. What is the now the same way we had situations in demand, right? We had shift on the demand curve and we had shift off the demand curve, right? Shift on the same demand curve and the demand curve itself shifted. We had two situations. Yes, yes or no? The same we have in supply also. Okay, there is a change in supply quantity supplied, that is the change on the same supply curve. Okay, and there is a shift in supply curve, right? So the same words are used here also, change in quantity supplied and contraction of supply. Okay, clear to you? They are same situations. It's only there we had a inverse relationship. Here we have a positive relationship. Okay. So the first situation we are going to learn about is change in quantity supplied. This is your change in quantity demanded. This is your change in quantity supplied. Okay. Keeping everything else constant, when we have only change in price, there is nothing else which is changing, no other determinant is changing. When there is a change in price, the quantity supplied also changes, and this relationship is shown by the curve. So this is a movement along the same curve. Okay, if the price is decreasing, the quantity supplied decreases. If the price is increasing, the supply increases on the same curve, right? Because we have kept all other things constant, only the price effect is being seen, right? So for this we will say supply of X is a function of price of X commodity, right? Where Sx is the supply of good X and Px is the price of good X. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
right. So come to page number 88. This figure is given on your page, that change in quantity supplied when we have movement along the same supply curve. We have two types of situation. One is expansion of supply, that is upward movement, right? Upward movement of supply. And when we have contraction of supply, that is the downward movement on the supply curve. Okay, expansion of supply will happen because there is a rise in price. Contraction will happen because there is a fall in price. Okay, now let's see it in the form of curves also. I think our time is about to finish. We'll do this last curve. Okay, now this is expansion of supply, that is increase in quantity demanded. All of you can see this? Can you see, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, now in this the supply schedule is given at price 4, quantity supplied is 50 units. At price 8, the quantity supplied is 100. Okay, now you see the curve, both the points are plotted, right? At 4, the supply is 50. It has shifted, increased towards the right side. Yes, can
Yes.
you see it has increased towards the right side. Okay, and here also the price has shifted upward. Okay, so this is known as supply expansion due to increase in price. Expansion of supply, that is because of increase in prices. Can you see this? Do I have to explain it, or is it clear to all?
Ma'am, can you explain it again?
Again, see, in supply, when you are learning, look at this supply curve. Okay, when the price is at 4, your quantity supplied is 50. Okay, when you increase the price at to 8, your quantity increases to 100 units. Okay, this is just a increase in supply because of price. No other factor is considered. So this is a upward movement. See, you can see this arrow, right? From point A, you have gone to point B on the supply curve, on the SS curve. So this is a upward movement of supply, right? Expansion of supply or upward movement of supply on the same curve. Okay, clear? Yes? Simar, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now the next figure, I want to see it in your books only because I have not copied it here. Page number 89.
9.
Okay, page number 89. The schedule is given on 82, table 4.5, the contraction of supply. Okay, it is 8, at 8 price, the quantity supplied was 100, and at 4, it reduced to 50. So the graph is given on the next place, wherein the supply curve is drawn. Okay, now this is a contraction of supply which results in downward movement.